we read Viktor Frankl. Fast forward, he was a psychiatrist, MD, PhD, that was in the Auschwitz era. You know, that he thought his wife and kids were still out there. Yeah, no, they were dead, but he thought they were still there. He wrote a book about man's search for meaning. It talks about once they take everything away from you, you still have the choice of choosing your experience, inner liberation, freedom. And but when we opened this book, you know, I was a kid just like you. I was like, what the hell? I was like, why am I going to college? And I go to college and they make me read these books, and it's like really touchy feely, emotional type books. You know, it's like, yeah, you know, this is you go dive deep into your mind, your heart, your purpose and meaning in life. So I was like, all right, I trust you and I trust the process. You know, you trust the professor and you trust the process. You also trust the school. Everybody trusts Ecker College. So that's why in my teachings I say, trust the teacher, trust the process. It's the same. It's the same thing that I've been saying over and over again. And I'm reading. I'm walking with him. The man's dead. Viktor Frankl. Everyone has. Everyone has to read his book. His book still lives to today. There's certain books out there that still live on. God, for real. You know, that still lives on and eternal. As long as humans are still roaming around, their books will still be published. But when you read it, you know, I got time for myself. It's a small little book. And I'm like, yeah, it ain't too bad. And I'm reading it and I'm like, oh my God, I'm there with him. I'm literally there in the cells with him. And he's watching all of his friends. Everything that the stories that you tell me, it's like me and Victor. I'm hearing Viktor Frankl tell me his story as you tell me your story in detail about your pet and blah 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 and everything else. Yeah. So we don't know it all and we can't know it all. But see, my dad, he wants to know it all. But it is a very good thing because I also want to know it all. But I know I'll never get the chance to know it all, but I'm going to get close to it. That's why I say you can't get to enlightenment. Well, damn it, get close to it. So therefore, you have to, if you're smart, at 23 I woke up. You're 21. You got 2 years. If you think you have the luxury of 2 years, well, keep on messing around in life. But if you're smart and intelligent, you would take advantage and save yourself 2 years and grow and knock all this off and then literally practice like him. So I'm watching him growing up the way that he is. And yeah, so he has a conversation with these authors, people who are better than him. That man is a triple discipline professor. He was a doctor, then a lawyer. He was a doctor, then a professor. Whatever. It's I don't know what's in order. The man is a doctor, a lawyer, and a professor, and a military intelligence. It's like I can't fathom in my head. He speaks French. He teaches French. He teaches Vietnamese. The first patient he ever cured was my grandmother. That's impressive. And the man is still learning. He's a student right now in there. And I'm like, damn. And he told me in college, he says, I just want you to have at least a BA. I'm like, no, I'm going to get my PhD. And he's like, I want you to get he's like, I don't have much high standards. Just get your BA and make money. Just make sure you make money, you know? And I was like, okay. But, you know, and I'm just like, you know, just by measurement of knowledge, he's like three PhDs. OMD, Doctor of Oriental Medicine, a JD, which is a law degree. You know what I mean? And so I really admire him, even though there's certain things that dad and son, we disagree on certain things. But he leaves such a legacy. And it is the conversation I had with Jonathan about, Jonathan, you grew up in a single parent home. How did you stay straight the way that you came out? Why did you not go south and dark, just like everybody else? And he says foundation. Foundation in the home. And only if you knew his upbringing, you would be like, oh shit. But foundation right here, established, solid. My point to you is my growing disappointment, growing, literally growing disappointment, and it's quite disorienting to my holy life to watch students just not awaken yet. Because at the end of the day, I blame myself. However, my students are, I blame myself because I have such a high standards. And this is a very interesting path in my life, whereas I was able to exert so much good influence, and things got done. In everything that I have done in my life, my wishes was fulfilled. That's a very difficult statement to arrive to. Very difficult. But then here comes the holy life, and it's like, now you have students. Huh. It's like, how many can you tame? It's one of the hardest and most challenging thing ever in the world. And my disappointment is growing. And I'm just like, what's the point? Have I liberated many? I have. And it's like, continue on? At some point, you get exhausted. Today, I used the analogy of the battery. Yeah, my battery's. That's why I snore. That's why when you catch me drift off, I snore. What is snoring? Exhaustion. I can't keep up with you, young bucks. I can't. You know what I mean? The only thing I got is my voice. Just like Dr. MLK, just like the President of the United States, they got their voice, they exert influence. That's it. They gotta take care of their body and mind. And I find myself, it's like me running on a treadmill, and it's like, gotta get off of it. One comment someone left. They said, Venerable, you doing God's work? And I was like, yeah, I guess you're right. I am doing God's work. Then the next question is, well, for how long do you think I can actually do God's work? You know what Sahari told me? When I told her, Sahari, I need to know how many shirts so far we've sold, like this past month, whatever, so I can order more shirts for myself, for my own students. And she says one. I'm like, what's the point? Sahari and Heath and Julia has given all. They've already proven to me that they've given all. They have no reason to lie, ever. They would never lie to me because they've already proven the threshold. They've already proven their sacrifice. Already proven. So therefore, it is unshakable confidence, faith, and trust I have in them of accurate, dead on point, surgical precision, accuracy. So I'm just like sitting back, I'm just chilling. I'm like, oh yeah, it's time to travel. And every day, I actually sit there and contemplate my big talk with people. And the next big talk is the conclusion of the Sunday service, so I can prepare for this November thing. For those who, I just want to enjoy doing it. And lately, I haven't been enjoying being a venerable father, except for Eric. And everyone's dealing with their own thing right now. The highest hope I have is within you, because of your level of intelligence. But I'm losing grip. You're losing grip of yourself. Therefore, I'm losing grip of my desire to continue. You get it? You're losing grip of yourself.
This week, yeah.
But you know what? I grew up messed up. And I veered towards Felix Perez, then Chief of Security, Felix Perez, Deputy, then Hillsborough County Sheriff Deputy, Felix Perez. I just gravitated towards him as my mentor, as my tada. He was God to me in those moments. And when he looked at me, and when he was in the process of training me, and I was in the process of working, and when he looked at me and he said, he didn't even speak perfect English. You know, he had this accent to him. And he says, "Kid, I'm stepping down. And if you want to be the next chief, you can have it." That's it. He uttered like a couple of sentences. And I looked at him, and I was in the, I told him I was going to the academy in the midst of all of this. And here I am. He gave me a chance. And I said, wow, okay. At like 21 years old, I was your age when he appointed me. An appointed position of public trust. But that's it. And he left. He literally left the next day. And he left it all to me. Overnight, I was like, what just happened? I was like, I am now head of public safety at 21 years old. My own team I get to choose. My own policies I get to create. Like, this is crazy. I had no one to vent to. All I knew is now I have a job to do. And I took it dead serious. And I was like, no more drinking. None of that crap. And I'm like, I can't let him down. Then now I'm in this position, and I'm looking at all my 21-year-olds, and it's like, what is it that you don't get, that you are the next light and hope that the world is waiting for you? And I'm like, forget it. They will never get it. I guess I was one out of a billion that got it. But the rest of the world is still asleep. What is the point? It's like, Venerable, it's time for you to be like Jayasaro. Take a 20-year break. Come back later when you're like 50. I'm really looking forward to that. You know? There ain't a lot of smart kids out there. Look at our group. They're all smart, but they're all asleep. And the teacher's looking for the student that is ready to be awakened. Is awake! And I feel like I'm failing. So Thank you for calling Venerable Cheetah. How can I help you? I'm live. No, go ahead. It's my best friend, Austin. Good. I'm sitting with the Korean guy. Would you like to meet the Korean guy for FaceTime? You don't want to analyze him? You don't want to profile him? You want me to call you back? Okay, all right. You know, I know what I enjoy now, and I really like to enjoy some of my. I want to take a step back, sit, and read through all these things, and show the people who are going to be traveling with me um, what it's like to get diamond teachings. Previously, it's like silver and gold level teaching. Then when you travel with me, it's like platinum and diamond level teaching. And it takes me months. I'm telling you, the next 8 months, November, right? We're traveling. Like, so I have, like, I'm telling you, you break it down all them days. I don't have a lot of time. And, and I got it down to a science. Because when I was writing my book, I was like, well, every day you have 4 or 5 hours to write your book. And everything else you have to do, eat, poop, sleep. And all that takes time, and do your own stuff and help your dad out and stuff like that. So I literally got the time management down to a science. So, and I know what I enjoy, and it's just like, I'm running out of things to say. The man who's been studying and practicing for 21 years have started running out of things to say. What does that tell you?
A lot.
I don't even want to open my eyes to the world. I just want to sit there like this, exactly like the Buddha, who does not want to no longer open his eyes anymore because he's tired of seeing all this crap that's out here. It's no wonder when they make statues and look, close his eyes. This look exactly what my dad says. My dad says, "Do you think he wants to see this crap that we're seeing out here?" No, and I'm like, "You're such an enlightened man." Close your eyes. Today, when I was functioning on my Zoom, I closed my eyes. As the interpreter, I'm tired. I don't want to hear it anymore. And I'm like, and I'm literally functioning as an interpreter so that we can have the fun. What's the point? I'm swimming. I'm literally, if you put all of my energy and effort every single day, I'm literally swimming against the currents, just like how we were fighting against the current to go back on shore in those paddleboards. That was one of the most profound thing the teacher has ever done with his students is to swim with you against the currents, one last time. And you see how tired I was mentally. It wasn't the physical part, it was the mental part why I'm so far back behind. Because Steve tapped out when I was wrestling with him. That's how strong I am. That boy works out in the gym every single day. You know? Oh, Vanana's watching. Hello, Miss Vanana, the teacher. Vanana, the yoga teacher. So, Vanana here is a local yoga teacher, and when I started to give hints to people that I was disrobing, she was like, "Oh my God, why are you disrobing?" Like everyone freaks out. It's part of my program. It's part of my. I have so many programs, but then just when I listen to your conversation with people, and I realize, no, Venerable, you should not disrobe. You should not disrobe for a good minute because the world needs to see more orange running around. The colors of hope, the colors of peace, the colors of liberation. Because if you disrobe and go back into human clothes, you're just like the rest of them. They won't know who you are. They don't know what you stand for. They wouldn't know. There'll be more evil proliferating everywhere. And that's why out of all the colors I've chosen lately, I've chosen orange in public. It was a public display of world peace. And lo and behold, out on the beach, "Excuse me, sir. Are you a monk?" You know? You think I want to wear orange and be like the cone? No, I want to be left alone. But yet it's like, so I look at myself as a visitor, a one last visitor. You know?
I hope my goal is to
At this moment, words are now hollow. Because I didn't sit there with Chief Felix Perez and told him what I was going to do. I accepted my appointment and I just did it. And even though the world never got to see how I did it, I know how I did it. And every single officers under my command are living proof that I ran that place like it was nobody's. It was world-class protection. World-class. Because I did the homework. Because after he appointed me and all of my collective experience and all of my collective academic studies and everything, I applied world-class science into the art of passion for protection. No matter where I went, there was one guy when I was doing this, it was horrific. Some of these rodeo events. And when I responded with my supervisor, Raul, I'm running towards these fights, not knowing what's happening. And Raul was like, "Slow down." I was just like you. He was like, "Slow down." So you slow down. They don't know why you're running. Obviously, you're all in tactical gear, and if you're running, they're going to think like a terrorist is here. This is long before terrorism existed. And some guy stepped in front of me, and he's like, excuse me. And I'm like, excuse me, I'm going to... And he's like, you are a very good guy, he told me. And I was like, I would think so, I would hope so. His point was that he was very surprised that I'm literally risking my life running to an emergency. That's what he meant. But it took me a minute to like reflect when my adrenaline and I'm exhausted back in the car going home. I realized that, oh my God, I'm exhausted and I didn't get killed. I was asking to get killed the way how I was responding to some of these fights and knife and beer bottles and stuff like that. I just lost my train of thought. My point was that I didn't have to sit there and tell Felix how it's going to be. He didn't want to hear it. I was smart enough at 21 years old to not sit there and just blah, blah, blah with him. I just wanted to show him. He's not even watching. He's retired. He don't give a damn. He's retired. He was on reserve status. He was on reserve status. He wasn't even a full status deputy. He was a reserve deputy. So, but you know, I lived as if I ran it as if he was still watching on my shoulders. That should speak. I'm giving you all sorts of freaking messages, and sometimes I'm sitting here. I'm like, am I speaking English? You know what I mean? I know damn well this interpreter ain't nothing wrong with my English. I did just fine with them depositions earlier. You know what I mean? So yeah, sometimes I go home and I'm like, I'm dumb. I gotta be the dumb one. I'm like, yeah, oh, no, it's my fault. No, it's my fault. I'm speaking gibberish. I'm speaking Pali to my students. Somewhere down the line, I started speaking Pali to my students. And they're just like, huh? Every night. I'm exhausted thinking. I'm exhausted you applying world-class science to help young people. With no resources. And I sit online, I'm like, I ain't got no resources to do this. I'm down to one man. One man. The weight of the world now lies on one man. And everybody's like, what? Oh, good for you. There is no actions from the people. Nada. What does action mean? The t-shirt, the CBT, the homework, the journaling. And like my words mean so much more when I'm gone. Just like the song says. Just like every song. You know? So like, yeah, really. I just told you I want to close my eyes. And then I want to close my ears. Because, and the things that I have not told you about the things that people told me. Oh, here, locally, when they meet with me. Oh boy, here it comes. And that's when, and I've told this 3 times previously, publicly, on live. I says, if their lips are moving, they're lying. And I'm sitting there, Steven's with me, my assistant. That's why I want always an assistant with me, so they can hear it for themselves. Ehi Pasico, come and hear it for yourself. Ehi Pasica, come and see it for yourself. And as I sit there and they're like, oh, I'm suffering, I'm this, I'm that, da, da, da. Sunday class, blissful beginning, 9 a.m. They never come. And every time they see me, they bitch, moan, and cry. At some point, the teacher doesn't want to hear it. He's deaf now. The same analogy as the late Supreme Court Justice Ginsburg. You know when they take group pictures, she's falling asleep.
No, yeah, you told me about this.
It's on Google. You Google Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She's like this. United States. There's only 9 justices. There's only 9. She's one of them. The skinniest, the small little lady. She didn't give a damn. She know what she... Well, that would be me. If there was ever a group of monks, well, guess what? Venerable Jidao right over there. Now, why? Now that the world knows why. He don't want to hear it no more. She already told it. She also told us that. She says, I just pretend like you're deaf. can't go any higher than Supreme Court justice in life. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, and by the time Eric came down today, I, I'm frantic. Everything is frantic just because I'm trying to fit so many stuff in, and he's watching me very quiet in the car. It's a behavior unlike every other typical day. Every other typical day, I'm energetic. I'm like, I got something to look forward to, but because I have 5 hours sleep, he's watching this exhaustion set in. And I'm sitting in the car as if my kidney's failing. And I just wanted some moment of silence. And he shares that silence with me. There's nothing more profound than to watch a teacher who is exhausted and to share the silence with him. Guess what you don't do? Knowing how to share. Well, except sitting out there while I'm exhausted, while kidney's failing again, right?
Mhm.
But that's why I like the kid. That's why I like people who are just chill. Chill out and watch more, see more, listen more, speak less. And the office was very peaceful because so many things are going on outside of the office. And I'm just like, Eric, wake me up at 6. It's 5:45. I'm taking this nap. This nap was like the quickest cat nap the world has ever seen. And in those moments, I died. I literally died. Like I shut off the light, the door was open, and I just wanted an IV in my veins. I really did. I did. And I was just like, I really want to conclude my day, but I lived for him and for the sake of everybody else. I'm just like, you must charge. The general must charge. The general will not retreat at this time. Charge, damn it. And thus I did. Thus I did. But I was exhausted today. But yeah, the kid knows how to share the silence. You just watch. If you don't speak much and you just watch Eric, if he wanted to, right now he's still young, but if he wanted to be an arahant, it's easy. It's quick. It's quick. Because he can give it up. The one that swims against the currents, the one that's going to step on more thorns than roses. But there are certain students, certain friends that I grew up with, and only if they wanted it, just a little bit of it, they can enter quickly into it. One of them was Josh. It's just no sensual pleasure, no killing, no lying, no stealing, perfect conduct. I mean, it goes into the wilderness by himself exploring, of course trespassing, but I'm just like, Josh, do you have I've never seen you have a girlfriend for 10 years. You're not gay. You just like to be by yourself. You ever consider being a monk? The man's literally a monk without being a monk. And so those people I have classified that if you like, those are the people that just needs one sentence out of the 84,000 teachings. Arahant. And that's where they are. They're just wandering around solo. Right here, Pinellas County, in the little mangroves or whatever. That they keep those are private Buddhas. Those are borderline Pajeka Buddhas, private Buddhas. So I like to surround myself with those kind of people, and they like to surround themselves around me. And again, like I told you, when some of these people travel with me, take a deep breath. And see these 3 deep breaths? I'm conditioning the whole world with me. I'm preparing them. I don't know who's traveling with me, but I'm preparing you. I'm guiding you. Sit down, follow the guidance. Just do it. Don't ask any questions. Just do it. 3 deep breaths, but the one who's gonna travel with me, and if they've practiced right, we're gonna plunge. Wonderful. Just like the skydiving. That's the analogy. Ah, now people get it. Oh, why does the Venerable put people skydiving out there? Oh, because it's a plunge. But it's the most wonderfulest plunge ever. It's free fall. It's like, peace, nirvana. Right there. You know, just for a couple of seconds. And that's all I want them to glimpse. Just for a couple seconds. That right there is crack. That right there is cocaine. That is like spiritual cocaine right there. Just that free fall out of the plane, that 8 seconds right there, that's all you need to want to do it again, all over again. And that's why they keep on jumping, the skydivers, over and over again. That adrenaline. But it is a very different spiritual adrenaline. Take a deep breath and plunge. I should have never picked up the TikTok thing. I should have never done it that day at Blissful Beginnings. I was a victim of Asian hate while helping a student drive. At a church, at all places. The guy comes out, stops her car, literally stop. It's just a horrific experience. I go back to Blissful, I'm like, really? Really? This Asian hate runs around the US, and then out of all people, who is a victim? Guess who's a victim today? That video blew up at like 50,000 views within like 3 days, and I'm like, oh my god, TikTok's real. Literally 50,000 people saw this, and I'm like, oh, let me make more videos. Now here I am. And I got myself into this mess with working with people and teaching and, you know, the teacher, and I'm like, and I sit here and I'm like, what kind of peace has it brought you? Many. But what also kind of headache it brought you trying to tame young people, the Gen Zoomers. Should have left it to Diana Winston. Should have just left it to her. Just leave it to them. You see this blue thing that behind there? That's why I bought the darn $20 book. See the blue? Let me read it out to you. Discover truth in a world of hype and self-interest. Find peace amid the ups and downs of life. Stop judging yourself and accept your own complexities and contradictions. Work with difficult emotions and learn how to meditate. Deal with temptation and make the right decisions about sex and drugs. Use wise speech to avoid getting caught up in gossip. Get out in the world by finding ways to volunteer, work for peace, and protect the environment. That's you. All of this is you. Do you not see you in these words? That's you. Especially the last one. Get out in the world by finding ways to volunteer, work for peace, and protect the environment. Oh, she was a Buddhist nun in a Burmese monastery. Burma. Told you. Burma. I'll be damned. Oh, it's a book from Penguin. They get it right. So, maybe I don't have that power I thought I did. Maybe I lost a lot of power, influence, and authority. Somewhere down the line, that happened.
I don't know.
Funny part is, when I started out my first team, it was the same guys that I grew up with that knew me in and out. And when they put on the uniform, and I said, Adam, Brandon, Josh, here, 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 they all did it without question. And when I stepped down and Eric stepped up, Eric said a couple of words to me. He says, I could never disrespect you. He dressed just like you. That boy dressed just like you, just like that, every single day. Well dressed, well mannered, dress shoes. I said, Eric, what are you talking about? We grew up together. We've done everything. We were partners in crime. We've we committed more felonies than in the felony book itself. Why would you say that? We did, and I realized how much influence I had over them. Just how I don't know, because I was acting a fool in the midst of trying to figure myself. I was not this spiritually blah blah blah. I was really struggling, like I always have been, as a young man growing up. But yet somehow I exerted. I don't even know what they saw in me, because we all got in trouble. They all know me. It's not like I became chief, and then they were new to me, and they scared of me because they don't know me, but they did know me. The pictures on my wall there, they all know me, in and outs, family, everything, my girlfriend. And for some reason, in all those 8 years, no flaw. I've never had a discipline. And even the wildest, youngest officers also exercise supreme restraint in order not to disappoint me. Like Tyler. Some 300-pound guy challenged him and he did not tase the guy. And I praised him for it. And some of these guys, there was another, what's his name? Kyle ran and saved a toddler from the road and suffered a panic attack. They didn't have to do all that. They did it for me. Somewhere down the line, I've lost that power I thought I still have. I must have. If I've gotten this far in my monkhood and I couldn't cultivate what I thought I could, one of two things. Either the new generations of kids are unprogrammable, cannot be taught, or I'm the crappiest teacher the world has ever seen. But all the numbers show different, especially on YouTube. Every month there's additional 100 followers, and my tone has changed the way how I've taught. So it's like I'm becoming a Jan Moon, but they're still following me. So I must be doing something right. Ooh, there go your buddy. Oh, St. Pete's. Uh-oh. Oh, we looking for somebody. Somebody tonight's not keeping the precept.
I don't believe that. Because in the month that we've known each other, you've had a very big impact on me.
The behavior doesn't show. I mean, I must be speaking poly. Maybe I should go back to my recordings and be like, you've been speaking Vietnamese the whole time to your students. That's why they don't understand. That's why they're not doing what you telling them that they should do. And you're not even catching it as you tell your story. You're not even catching the foolishness in the story. And what have I said before? Um, people, you are blind to yourself and you blind to the things that you do. Whose phone is that just ding? Go grab my other phones. Just find out where it is. Oh,
It was mine.
yours?
Yeah, it's been in here the whole time. I was trying to do CBT.
I need a water bottle before I have kidney failure again and die in this chair. It's not hard, right? you now you have all y'all gotta ask yourself. We chose the teacher and we're still gravitating towards him. He says what we need to do. Why are we still not doing it? Or why are we not doing it overnight? I know people can change overnight. I've seen it with my own eyes. Seen it. It's buying through love that happens. It's buying through respect that happens. Before becoming a monk, I met this girl named Jessica. Drink, smoke cigarettes. Great sex. We do what we do, the boyfriend girlfriend thing. We come out. She's smoking. She lives in Bradenton. I'm watching these behaviors, which is, I wasn't raised up like that. I see the whole family. I see everything unfold in that house. I come out, beautiful. Look, sky just like that, right there. Peaceful. Real peaceful. Real peaceful. I looked at her and I said, listen, we've known each other for a week. I'm going to tell you this. I really like you a lot. But tonight I need you to make a decision. The cigarettes and the drinking goes, or I'm gone. I guess somewhere down the line I go back in or something like that. And I'll be damned. I'll be damned. Within like 3 hours, she came in the room and she said, I'll quit. Right now. I didn't really think much of it. And pretty soon, everything moved really quickly. Then, like another week, she moved in with me. Lo and behold, never touched it again. That's cigarettes and alcohol. You know how hard it is to cut cold turkey? She did it out of love. She did it out of respect. And now that I sit here and I think about it, and I'm like, wow. Wow. Then you look at me, who I've told you after being appointed, I changed overnight. I had to be like the perfect kid for the benefit of the many and the all. And I'm now sitting here and I've watched other examples in my life. And I'm like, how come other people can't change overnight? As I speak about human intelligence and as Eric drive me and we need to get gas today, we come across Sam's Club's gas. Lo and behold, the 99% of the crowd goes in their mind, my gas tank's on the left, so therefore I have to get in line where the pump is on the left. And the 1% that realize that they can pull it just a little longer by stepping on the other side of the car, you can still get gas and cut the line. like you can choose the left or the right. Did you know that you can choose, people? And lo and behold, the kid pulls up as the guy's pulling away. We just cut. Not like cut in line, but we just avoided. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's how asleep our world is right now here in the US. We can't go 1 mile without spotting 467 moving violations in people. No blinker, no consideration for others, lack of mindfulness. You got 3 mirrors and 2 eyes. Now, if the Lord had done give you 1 eye and 3 mirrors, I could understand you did not see it coming. What in the actual beep 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 is happening? So I'm just like, yeah, we're declining. And last Sunday, I've already said, we're becoming dumber. Definitely. Definitely. That is an understatement, and I'm being nice because I'm recording my darn self. So that is the least to say. You know all the you know all the senior monks out there. I think they see the light and hope in Buddhism, which is me. But it's a losing battle. Somewhere down the line, they just chilled out. They pretty sure they were once me, and then it's just like, you know. This is quite short years of teaching. I'm supposed to be in service for at least 30, 40. Cardinal World that you just seen, that man's been a priest for 50 years. That is respect. You know how many confessions that man had to hear? Oh. You think the stories that your friends tell you and the emotional impact that pierced your heart, every ventricle, every valve, every chamber of your heart, you think that hurts or impacts you? Try being a priest and hear not one, but hundreds each week. Hundreds of people confessing dozens of morality and ethical issues. Raping, killing, lying, stealing, cheating. In details. That man's been a priest 50. I'm on my 8th year, and we having this kind of talk already. 8th. Oh shit. And like people will wonder why I'm a Buddhist monk, but I look up to a Catholic cardinal for inspiration, for spiritual strength, because I ain't got it no more. And I'm just like, oh, look at that. If he can make it, you can make it. Stretch, get on it for another day. And at times I do. I drive my car and I listen to Darn the World over and over again when he gives homilies. And I'm like, you comfort me with your words. I'm a monk. You're Catholic, but you bring me so much peace and joy, and I just need to get by another day and watch my students grow. So priest, well, especially him, an archbishop and a cardinal, when he ordains priests, deacons, he goes, dear sons, start out with that. And here I am having my own sons. And I'm just like, there's only a few. Why can't I tame them? Oh, God's testing me. And the Buddha's testing me. They got to be testing me. Just to see if I still got it. They want to see how fast I give up. And I always wanted to meet the man, just to ask him some of these questions. The man, Darnell World, has met the Dalai Lama and spoke with him on live. I mean, in front of thousands. That's impressive. So I gotta meet the man before he dies. He's like 80 now.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta meet him, and I gotta say, Cardinal, I've been following you for a very long time. Just like all the other students are like, Venerable, we've been following you for a very long time. And I said, Father, how did you do it in 60 years? And here I am, 8 years, and I'm a holy man just like you. Why am I struggling so hard? You know, it's just like, they're like, Cardinal, we possess the most effective and comprehensive educational system. Why are we now looking up to you for guidance? I bet you he'll be chuckling. He'll be chuckling. He met His Holiness himself. And now he's hearing it from me. Oh, yeah, he's gonna get a... Before that man dies, he's gonna get a good chuckle from our conversation. When I was younger, I just wanted to be a cop. I just wanted to be a cop. I didn't want to be chief of a protection company. That is a lot of... I knew the magnitude of the responsibility. You have expressed to me that you want to influence other people. You just want to help. Why? Tell me the why behind it. What is your intent?
Help people not go through as much suffering that I have in my life. With no one.
That is deep and profound versus my ambitions. I just wanted to have fun in a cop car so I can get by in life. Help people, yeah, that's great. But I like the stuff that you see on TV. That's it. That's all I wanted to do. Now, yesterday, you opined another student of being, he's smart, but yet so smart, but yet so dumb. Hey, I'm talking here. Do you want to take rebirth? That's right. Not another word, or I will throw a lightning bolt at you. They understand rebirth. Oh, they sure did. Like, oh shit, he means business. So I hope you get it together to not be the really smart kid and yet so dumb at the same concurring consecutive time. What you opined yesterday, I want you to repeat that in your head. May I not be smart and dumb at the same consecutive concurring time.
Not quite a few people I can, and that's been the motivation. And then I have no words at this point. And honestly, at this point, I don't even know if I care about Saturday. I don't even know if I want to do it anymore. anymore. I feel like
What
it's
the
a
hell
waste-
Saturday again?
A waste of time. I feel like for one party, not both, for one.
Wow.
And I'm only doing it because I only have hope in one of the parties. And I told that party tonight. I had a very nice talk with that party. And lately he has been backing me. And I actually broke through to the second party, who I had very little hope in. And he told me that.
Huh? He said what?
He told me what had happened when my mom had come home after I tried to invite her out and have some quality time with her. Bought her tacos. And she was so anxiety ridden that I literally told her, go home. Leave me alone, go home. And take her anxiety with you. Word for word. So that I could have some peace. Because I was pretty content before she got there. And she did exactly to me today what I did to my dad the other day that I told you about. As the week has gone on, and we're only on Wednesday now. Yeah, Wednesday now. I've been asking myself, what's the point? I'm exhausted with it. And I think my dad is starting to realize and finally listen to me now. And realize what the problem is. I told him straight up when I was younger, when all the shit was going on. Why do you stay? What are you scared of? Still to this day, have not gotten an answer. I mean, I'm so exhausted. I've spoke about this with so many people. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. This Saturday, I really just want to cancel at this point and just fucking read my CBT until it's done. I'm just so exhausted, but I have hope. A little bit of hope that my dad can change. I have absolutely no hope in my mom. I was almost going to tell my mom not to come, but that would be unfair of me.
The one thing here, the hope here is to first change thyself. Somewhere down the line, hopefully, you awaken to the reactivity of your own true nature and how that causes a ripple effect in the family home. Before we blame other people or hope that they would change, we first have to change ourselves. And we inspire that peace and change in others by and through our own. Now just look at this. If me and you are having this type of talk, how would you grade yourself as the son?
That we've had tonight.
Over the course of the past 2 weeks of supervision, guidance, recommendation, do you not see how you not take it seriously? The level of perceived respect. I don't impose that on people. I let them, if they're smart enough, they would see it for themselves. If I was the Venerable Father himself, and you veered towards me for guidance, and I gave you all the guidance in the world, and did you see how you failed to change at a very high rate of speed? Now, how could you blame them if the work we're doing showed a slow progress? Too slow. If the Buddha sat here, he would say unacceptably slow. If the Arahants were here, they would shake their head. Why? Because they have insight into your intelligence and how you sided with the lawyer in your head versus the advice of the wise.
I don't even want to do Saturday.
So that's not the point.
I understand.
It's not the point. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I am the last straw, you have to ask yourself, how much have I yeah, you've changed, but it's like you see how slow it is. Painfully slow. For you and for all. For you and for all. The overworking, and the excuses behind it, and the reasons behind it. Well, I have to keep myself busy with, well, then why are we here? When someone gives you the key or gives you the medicine and you don't take it, and you willfully knowingly, you just want to, you're suffering intentionally. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm getting at. And mind you, before you left, yesterday or the day before yesterday, I told you, tell all your friends you're working on yourself. You'll come back when it's ready. I don't think you did that. The social media thing that you started to move around, great. But there's no boundaries. You owe them something. You've got to owe them something in order to keep some of these phone calls going the way that it has. So you turn the wheel somewhere in the past that now you feel obligated to answer to some of these people. It has to be. Unfinished business. If it's financial, then it takes time, and it is valid to take time. But if it's not financial, I don't know why you haven't cut the cord. Temporarily cut the cord. I've never asked a student to cut cold turkey from friends or family, to take a break and stand by it. You do you. So which one is it? You owe them financially?
No. I don't know anybody but banks right now. I just want to shut off my phone again. It's a very peaceful time.
That's not. That's. Wrong.
I don't owe them anything. I owe myself all of the time that I give other people and lack to give to myself.
See what I'm getting at?
I know. I need to shut up and take my own medicine that I've been giving out. What was the favorite part of your day today?
My nap. My nap and the workings of karma. It gave me another case that I desperately needed to buy time to nurture Eric. Karma's really good to me lately. We have a very serious conversation together. If I'm not saint, the pre-saints will make me saint. In their hearts. They don't gotta announce it. They ain't gotta put a banner. They will know. One day, people like Eric's gonna turn around and realize they were in a dark spot, and he afforded, the Venerable afforded time for them to figure themselves out by and through in any all means he did. He sacrificed everything to buy time, the most precious thing. I got somebody out there that's writing a 200-page book so far, and they want me to glance through it and see if it's appropriate within the teachings of the book. I ain't got time. I promised them, but I ain't got time. And yeah, I'm running out of time. Quick, fast, rapid. Maybe my world a little bit different than everybody else's world. Everybody that's take their sweet ass time. Shit, must be Florida. Must be a Florida thing. That's what mindfulness does to you. It wakes you up in all sorts of aspect. Where do I teach at? Oh man. Well, blissful beginnings, Pinellas Park. But you know what? Don't come, because But because in preparation for a lifetime of traveling in November, myself and I think there's only 25 openings. I need to take the remaining 8 months of this year, less than 8 months, to prepare for a trip of a lifetime with the people who's going to be traveling on Trova Trip. So, uh, thank you for asking because now they all going to have to go to YouTube and catch up. Literally catch up. That's a lot of videos. And about 1,000 more that I've yet uploaded.
Built millions of hours.
Like literally, if I had the money, I would hire 2 people uploading every day. It would take from now until November to finish uploading. Did you know that? I don't think you've seen the amount of external hard drives, the content inside of them. Okay, it's a suitcase. It's a small suitcase when I'm traveling alone. One suitcase is dedicated for external hard drives. So when the Venerable is just sitting there with his cup of tea, he can go back to, and God knows how many. Oh, that's how big it is. But I don't have time to sit there and babysit anymore. Like, you know what I mean? The few students that came and got what needed, you know. But see, so now some of these people are like, where do you teach? They catching a glimpse of the depth of my teachings or quality of the teachings. And I ain't gonna sit there forever. But somewhere down the line, they all, 99% of them are like, "Ah, he's young. Look at him. He's adorable. He's 20 years old. He's gonna be here around forever." Okay.
He's just nothing but a number.
Okay.
No services Sunday?
Be the last one. It has to be. I can't.
I think you should just step away now.
No, no, no. It's gonna be the last one. But I like the Sunday thing because it really makes me not lazy. My whole week, if you think about it, I work the whole week. But it's the middle way. I'm never that exhausted. The only time I'm exhausted is when you come over and I get 5 hours sleep, because you wouldn't shut up. So I get 5 hours sleep, then my kidneys start to fail. But that's okay, because if it actually failed and I actually died, I gave my body, speech, and mind for the benefit of humanity. I'm golden. Nirvana towards the end. Boop, saint, done. No rebirth. You know what I'm saying? But if you look my week, like, you know, like, so the one time you were like, the one time you were like, oh, I can't wait for my week to be over. What week to be over? My week's never over. It's just like literally a continuous stream of consciousness of work and life balance or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you look, like, you've never heard me say that. You'll never hear me say, "Oh, I can't wait my Friday to be over or my Monday or dread Monday." That's what mindfulness does to you. It literally every day is the same. Through Christmas, through Black Friday, they're all the same. Once you find the middle way, you realize this is a really nice operating platform, nice operating week.
That was a bad way to put it. I was looking forward to the new week and the new challenges. As I've been looking forward to the Vietnam trip, which is why Saturday's off. Don't even worry about Saturday. Saturday, I just want to read.
The proper perception of time in regards to the Vietnam trip is it's like this. It's like you have this much to read. Look at your book. Look how thick it is.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to Vietnam next week. And what I need all of my, especially local students who have access to me, there are people out there who wants to access me. And this Sunday, you can't access me anymore after that. I need 8 months to prepare for teaching. The world has never seen a monk sit there and prepare 8 months. So, and what I'm telling my local students is finish this, meditate every day for an hour. In 24 hours, dedicate one. Because we monks, 3 to 5 hours each day.
I know I've been running out of time. As far as I'm concerned, Vietnam.
That's the perception of time. That is reality to me. That Vietnam is like next week, even though it's November. To the rest of the world who is asleep, like, oh, 8 months, great. I'm going to do my 8, hit the gate and save and go grocery shopping tomorrow and watch Netflix. And great, I'm going to go to Vietnam and eat me some guacamole or whatever the hell is over there right now, dragon fruit and stuff like that. And I got so much insights from my books. The world gonna get a kick out of it. They're gonna get a kick out of Jidao. So every day you have to ask yourself, yeah, you do have something to look forward to, the darn trip. And then you have to ask yourself, what am I doing to prepare for it?
Mm-hmm.
Ain't this? Had I not take your phone the other day, that you thought you were slick to move over here and turn your back so I couldn't see that phone.
No, that's not why I moved over there.
It doesn't matter. You conceal the phone. You didn't do this. It doesn't matter what the intention, or now you want to play lawyer. Don't matter what the reason is. You can tell me you were sitting here because, you rather see the Buddha because he done levitated down and levitated a couple 100 feet off to the second story and looked at you and you just wanted to show him, that you were looking up Pali language. Had I not come out here and took the phone away from you, seconds, minutes passing by. Now, when I was talking to Jonathan, I stood right over there and I opened that little cabinet. Did you see me look at that little cabinet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wow, that little cabinet right there, right? I was looking at it real close, real long, because that is my list to do, my list of books to do, and I'm still on my other one. I haven't even touched that whole cabinet. In addition to the plastic box of new books that I just bought. So now I have this much, literally this much of books to catch up. In addition to preparing for the Vietnam trip in November. That is my standards. That is my list to do. My laundry list to do. You know what I mean? So I just sat there and I was like, oh God, I'm pissing away time. And that's why I allotted only 11 minutes, 11 precious minutes to talk to Jonathan. 11. You sat there and talked to, we not gonna name who, on live television, whatever this is. 2.5 hours. In spiritual perception of time, that is equivalent to 20 years. Just saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying though. That's all I'm saying. Stephen has been with me and watched how I function as a consultant, interpreter, consultant, legal expert, you name it. He has sat there and he has watched me quote people under the capacity of a consultant. People get maximum 15 minutes with me at the office. In some cases, I have arrived to a conclusion that your case is $5,000 or $10,000. I don't need to hear more. That's it. Stephen has witnessed tremendous amount of money come in as a direct result of me telling people, this is your problem, this is how I'm going to fix it, this is how much it costs, under the capacity of a consultant, not a monk, consultant. 2.5 hours, $0. I'd be rich if I went back to my old job. Eric, second living human being, comes with me, watches me function as an interpreter. 5 minutes, $400. 5. That's it. Here's your problem. I'm going to solve it. This is the fee. You have another 1 minute to make up your mind. That's it. And he's watched it at the office, living proof. 5. So from now on, since you're working so hard and you want this trip so bad, I want you to really conceptualize, quantify, qualify, qualitative, quantitative, micro and macroeconomics in your head, the preciousness of time, and the foolishness of talking to fools that contributes to poison in your veins that I'm trying to suck out. So if you doubt what I am telling you, interview Eric, interview Stephen, interview every and any all assistant that comes with me as I function.
I don't doubt you.
I was impressed yesterday when I said we have to go and you're like, nice to meet you, and then bounced. Because that is what I do. I laughed, I died. I went to Nirvana. I was in Nirvana. I was in Nirvana and I went to Nirvana for the longest time, eternal. I was in eternal Nirvana when you did that because you see the foolishness of unfolding. It's like,
Yeah.
hello? And I'm like, and Eric is still there. And you did exactly what I wanted you to do. And without me telling, without me saying, you seen it, right? It was like Morse code. It was like Morse code. It was like, it means get the hell out. And I was sending codes to you guys with just my eyeballs, right? And just the way you did it. Just the way you did it. And I was like, no, he did not. No, he did not. That's how it's done, folks.
She was confused. She was like,
That's how it's done. That is how it's done. So when people call you, you have to teach them how to respect you and your time. I guess I've come to an age and stage in my life where I just don't want to hear it anymore. In the professional realm, at my dad's office, you know what I mean? And the other day, the fraud case that came, and you weren't there. Were you there? You weren't there, right? Were you there? Oh, you were there. Okay.
This is Korea. This is Japan.
And I controlled it. And I gave it a little bit more time because of the emotional component that he was a teacher being frauded. buying through his own foolishness.
Mm.
I would imagine the man's got at least a master's degree. Lack of spiritual attainment led to foolishness and a lifetime of mistake. All in a matter of minutes. All in minutes. So out of compassion, I was like, all right. But technically, I just wanted to say, deep down inside, I said to myself, wow, what a fool. What an idiot. You're an idiot. That's what I really wanted to say. Idiot. Right? And I was like, be nice. Be nice. Just be nice. You know, it's like, what's the point of me telling them that now? Now that the damage is over. Idiocy. Supreme idiocy to have led to, wow, $122,000 in savings. And to watch $66,000 escape. I spoke to a lawyer and I said, hey, you want to take this one? Oh, yeah. You know how much? $10,000.
That's it. That's surprising.
I haven't broken the news to the wife. Their karma. And he had all this time to figure it out. Someone who holds at least a master's degree. So hear it carefully what I'm telling you. Lack